All right, it's Upians, guys. I'm gonna do a video here real quick. Another video here. Um, this is pretty much about technology and where it's going, and how all the sci-fi movies you see on TV are coming true, and everybody keeps saying, no, that's crazy. Even your parents and well, younger people. But then a lot of our parents are seeing, holy crap, But the other generations back there, like our parents, told us the stories that, oh, couldn't that ever happen? And their parents were saying, no, it could never do that. And there's this thing now that everybody's saying. I'm going to talk about HAARP and how different weapons and energy things can be weapons and be for the common good. And people are saying, oh no, that's conspiracy theory. That can never happen. But yet they don't know the difference. You never see some of them. Excuse me. They don't know the difference between conspiracy theory and stuff that you're actually shown that actually exists now. And one of the reasons, all right, let me say this over again. One of the things that you can tell if it's just fact or fiction is just do your research. And one of my favorite YouTube videos, it's on YouTube, it's called H.A.A.R.P, Holes in Heaven. And it's a really cool video. And you got to examine all the things that you have right there, all the wireless technology that's out there, and the facts that the things that people can do with energy and electricity. And well, you got things like tasers now that the cops can sort of shoot at you. They have wires that they're connecting, but there is some things like in the movie Dune that they are eventually gonna, I think, invent, and they have HAARP is a thing that you'd kind of like to want to have it around, because all that the nuclear deal we have with Iran and all these other countries, that I think are freaking out of their minds, because anybody, and then North Korea too, they're going ahead and there's some stuff that we don't know. Somebody's going to get pissed off, and they're either going to launch nuclear missiles at Israel and then eventually us. North Korea has actually threatened us before. And I believe our country wants to have this technology, or is working on it, or actually has it, because anybody watching, who wouldn't want to have something in place where you can deflect a nuclear missile, just create a heated area of the atmosphere and pow, and then even make aircraft. There's some people who can use it to make aircraft, just slam right into a ball of energy, so to speak. And but to prove anyway that it's actually out there, I mean, you got to figure what people are doing with stuff now. I mean, the actual energy that exists. Do you ever watch on the History Channel? I mean, there was this guy that flies with a helicopter, has his occupation on power lines, and the documentary shows that these insulated power lines, they literally radiate a energy, if you will, and you can get fried or electrocuted just by being within so close to them. But they're way up on those power line towers, like up there and all that. But there's a guy that actually puts a rod right there, and it cancels out the power so he can work on them power lines. But I'm doing this right from spitting out my thoughts, right off the top of my head from all the stuff I look at, which I'm inviting you to go look at. And I'm going to talk about an article, too, that this relates. There's this guy, No Face Charlie, that some people that people I went to school with that are on my Facebook or that knew me somehow, I saw that they put this article on there, not to mention their names. And I actually found out about the myth and fact about No Face Charlie, because, yeah, I'm going to tell you what he has to do with this in a second. Because, yeah, people like my mother and all that, people thought that he died saving kids in the fire. There were different kind of myths. But anyway, this is about what electricity could do, really, anyway. But something that I was crazy when I was younger, that people inflated my suicidal tendencies or whatever. I had all kind of rumors about me about suicidal tendencies because I used to like to climb things. And I saw this article on No Face Charlie. I'm like, holy crap, I'm glad I never climbed anything like this, because anyway, this guy, keep in mind that I climbed and I was able to do some really dangerous things I can even do now, and people said rumors about suicidal tendencies because of this. But anyway, this article was about No Face Charlie and how he really got his face fried and he got all messed up. And supposedly he climbed up, if this was power lines for I think a trolley where it's uninsulated, and you get so close to this you can get fried. I guess he was with some other kids and I guess went up to get this bird nest or investigated a bird nest. And uninsulated wires, you get so close to them. I saw this on the History Channel before I saw this article that these people I knew that knew me, you know what I mean, that out there in the actual world posted this about him, the real reason how he got electrocuted. I mean, this is powerful electricity. It's like you get anywhere near this stuff, you don't have to touch it, and it'll. And I'm like, God damn, that could have been me, because I had all kind of things I was told. Even though I was the wimp in school, I was very lightweight and had strength, and I always knew to this day that I had potential other kind of ways. I mean, if I was physically trained the right way or got in the military, they probably would have found a place to put me. And then I had theories on my own where, you know, physically that you can get to something. That would have been bad news for me, because if I was dumb enough to actually climb anything like this, not only is it a very big fine and jail time, you can pretty much get zapped. But anyway, about this energy, how powerful it is, it can be thrown wirelessly. We got energy that's, yeah, we got them microwaves that are very dangerous, you know, that people, the Navy uses and everything that they use. And if that can mess you up at a very close range, but it's used, but they're using that for a lot of other purposes. They're throwing it around up in the sky and all that, and they want to be able to use it for, they use it now to find out where, like, oil and natural gas is. They use different kind of pulses of energy. And this energy can be maybe thrown into satellites and different kind of things, you know, concentrated, used to maybe do what a nuclear bomb would do, but do it instead of a nuclear bomb. So we wouldn't have anything like Chernobyl going on or whatever. We want to use it to deflect missiles, but the governments want to do that, and they're worried about if terrorists are going to be able to get money and power to do this, or terrorist countries, like countries that are run by radical clerics and all that jazz. But you figure that's some really powerful shit that we want it. We'd like to have it. Hell yeah, I'd like to have it so we can keep a missile deflected from us, like maybe send a cloud of energy up there way in the middle of some, right in, maybe up in the middle of the desert or something, way before a missile gets anywhere near us. But of course, if you would use some kind of, anyway, if you use such technology to make a wall of energy up in the sky above where, anywhere in our country where the missile goes, it wouldn't do any good, of course, because that nuclear shit's gonna, that's where you would not want it. But you'd want some kind of thing like that to deflect a missile like way before it gets to us, so it's in the middle of the ocean way before the missile gets there, and all that crap, you know what I mean? But I mean, I always wondered about it. Like, you ever remember, like in the '80s, as a young kid, that video game? It ended up being a game that you get on your old school Atari system called Missile Command, but it was played in the arcade. That game, Missile Command, you know, there's like a scenario, imaginary scenario there, but all these things that they were talking about, like even in the '80s, it was about. I remember seeing a magazine in Time Magazine or U.S. News as a young kid when they were calling it Star Wars, but they defunded Star Wars and now they put it into H.A.A.R.P. It's just they changed it to something different. But yeah, I'm looking at the future, not like laser pistols or things like the cops have now. Like, I'm thinking that how are you're going to have a big backpack for something like that, almost like a flamethrower, but a big battery. You know, you ain't going to want that. I'm thinking that say you have, maybe they invent these guns like your RF gun that also, you can identify an item, say if there was a microchip on you, which that's other shit separately in the video. But say you have this gun, right, and it's like, the RF gun is like wireless technology, right? But then you have maybe something like a dangerous bolt of energy that they can make travel through the sky through satellites, make it like go into that gun instead of having any kind of power source on you to power a laser pistol, if you will. But you know how the wireless energy goes into it, but end up that gun it's coming out of the sky and going to that gun through a radio signal, and you wouldn't need no power source on you, but you'd be using that gun with a kind of the gun would be more like an antenna to harness this power and shoot a lightning bolt or some crap into somebody, you know what I mean? That way. The same kind of energy we use that's through the wireless technology, like through internet and all that, it can be used to guide, whether it's through a cell phone or through anything like that. But it would also, they're also using this wireless technology. It can be a vehicle for a deadly bolt of energy, like lightning bolt, or laser beam, if you will, to kill somebody, without actually having it on a power source on you, like Star Trek or anything. I was sort of suggesting that instead of some kind of thing where you'd need a battery for like a laser gun, well, the police have a taser, but it still shoots and there's wires attached to it. You know what I mean? And sometimes those things go wrong and the prong doesn't stick in a person right either. You know what I mean? But it would be literally an online thing, and it would be a lightning bolt coming out of the sky, and the gun would be the antenna. But it would also be a vehicle for what we have already, like an RF gun, if you had a microchip on you. But like that way, I mean, it wouldn't have to be a gun. It could be like a cattle prod type stun gun. You ever see those stun guns or the cattle prod where it's not like a taser, but you ever see them online that you can, it's like a nightstick, but it can zap you. But imagine that, and you point it at somebody, but it's not like running off a battery in that cattle prod, but it's like, it would be like a modern day thing of like that sorcery stuff where they have that staff and they're pointing at any of your video games or whatever. But that could come anyway, let me say that again. That can come true through like this modern technology. I mean, they have in that one video, I mean, the Earth has this, what they call an electrojet that they proposed, like trying to harness it instead of nuclear energy, making a power station off of that, and they're saying that's very bad news. And if you do research, there really is an electrojet, around the Earth and all that crap. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's very fascinating to find out what people are really doing now with energy and all that stuff too. I mean, it's like stunning because that they'd want to harness the Earth's electrojet for a power station, and they thought about that simply because I'm not a paranoid environmentalist, but there is a thing we have to watch. Don't overpollute our water. And I do think the days are numbered on this nuclear thing. Look what almost happened in Japan through an earthquake. Look at Chernobyl. And I saw these documentaries, right, of all that nuclear stuff. They put that in drums, and they're storing that in some endless bunker in the ground, right? And you see these documentaries on all that nuclear stuff that they're having that. They're heating that in like, I'm using the wrong word. They're not heating that. They're actually taking them rods out, and they supposedly take years and shit to cool in a boiling water and that. And if you really wanted to take to heart them things on the one of the History channels, the Life After People thing, if people died of a disease or whatever, and there was nobody to take care of this, I mean, if everybody that knew how to do this died tomorrow of a disease, right? Those things would literally explode. If you do a documentary on it, and then we're putting those things in, every time they change that thing on those rods in them reactors, they take years to cool, and you have to keep water in there, and it boils away. And then after that, they're putting that in drums, and they're sending that over to way under the ground somewhere, and they're running out of places to put that shit. And I seen this documentary on TV about Japan. They interviewed this Japanese guy. There was like a big old farm where he used to grow his prize spinach, which people would need a lot of spinach, I mean, to sell and be able to eat. That's food. But yet, this area where he grew his prize spinach became a nuclear waste burial place. And I'm not paranoid, but where the hell are people going to keep putting that shit? You know what I mean? That is crazy. I mean, so yeah, they're looking for solar, and they're looking for an alternative power source, like maybe harnessing this Earth's electrojet. I mean, if you've gotten in my boring video, if you watched, people that already are following me actually know this. The people that know me and that actually watch my videos so far, which by the way, if you're not bored to death and you came this far watching this video, a couple of you people that know me, go ahead, snag my video and take out and edit out some of the things and go ahead and do it. More power to you. If you want to send me the video, and then I'll repost it as an edited, shorter version of it, because, I'm rambling. I'm trying to say a bunch of shit here without making it a long-ass video, and I myself, want to just maybe take my own video. I've done that before and edit it. You know what I mean? But anyway, there you have it. All that stuff that actually relates. And a lot of different things rolled in one that they're doing with this H.A.A.R.P thing, and I'm trying to make the case of what energy is, whether it can be used as a weapon, and things that you get so far and can kill you, and just use it as a weapon already. And but then it could be an essential tool too. But it's all there. It's not conspiracy theory. You got to look it up. It's part of tech. You don't, like I said before I end this video, you can be an atheist and see this. I mean, with the new microchips they're putting on people and all the tech. Even if you don't care about the Bible at all, it's there. And yet, I'll talk to people that, I'm no professed atheist and I'm no religious fanatic, but you can tell right away if you look in that Bible, that's technology. And matter of fact, right in the early years, I remember one of my first jobs was a recycling place, and there was this guy there who was kind of religious and fanatical, and even though I talked something about him that I believe in, everything I said to him was wrong. But he laughed in my face when I said that the mark of the beast was the new technology. It was starting with your bank cards that are starting to come out with the Visa logo. They were just starting to come out that you can get by choice to have direct deposit. I remember one of my first jobs before the tech was getting the way it was now. He laughed in my face. But not that all Christians were like that. A lot of people would agree with me. And then now, look, they're proposing it, and you can get it if you want it now. That September 11th thing, I have a video clip that I put on there that right after September 11th happened, somebody got this family together saying, yeah, we willingly got a microchip on us because we want to protect ourselves from terrorists. And the one dude, the younger son on there, you can see this sneering look on his face. It's almost like he put this family up to it. Like, how in the hell did you willingly accepting a microchip, whether you're an atheist or a professed Christian, how in the hell is that willingly getting a microchip going to protect yourself from terrorism, But yeah, at the same time, I remember when I was a young kid in school, like you can get your mother to sign this thing that they were doing that they were pitching in school, that Alex Jones was talking about it. I remember this, that you could willingly get your fingerprints, that they were collecting the kids' fingerprints. There was this program, all the kids got a note to take home to their mother. that they were doing in school to you can get your prints, and I never did it. But to be fair, yeah, Alex Jones is part right, and but there's also a thing where if you want to find somebody that killed your mother or your daughter or somebody, what they were doing for a common good in a way too was to get these fingerprints right. And if hey, a lot of kids when they're younger, they grow up whether they're making a mistake, go out and kill somebody, right? And to make a fingerprint system work to solve a murder, if you watch them crime-solving shows, the more fingerprints you have on file, the more DNA you have on file, the better chances you find catching the killer. And that was very evident in a documentary I saw where there was this one punk group called the Gits. The woman was the lead singer anyway. This was supposed to be the end of this video, by the way. But anyway, I saw it. I don't know if you could run a check on it on the internet, but I saw the documentary. She was friends with all them Seattle bands, Soundgarden and everybody, all these. And I didn't know about this. There was a benefit concert to try to raise money to find her killer. But to make the long story short, 10 years later, they found the killer through DNA and all that stuff, that they found the DNA. 10 years later, and everybody giving up. So yes, the Alex Jones thing is right, but yet for a common good, the fingerprints and the bone records that even, I'm not definitely siding against Snowden that fled, but Mr. Snowden there did put to rest an argument that a lot of us are having with our friends in the world and coworkers in the world. Oh no, they don't have all our phone records on file and yada yada. And Snowden come along and he confirmed it and solved the argument. A lot of us are saying, "See, I told you so." Ha ha ha. Like that. So, but not that I'm siding against Snowden at all. I mean, I support what he did, but they also do use those phone records. If somebody was talking about, they want to find somebody that did go and kill somebody or do something that's wrong and trace it through phone records and all that stuff, and they can get that. But I personally don't worry about it because, hey, so they want to see my boring-ass telephone conversations, go ahead. I kind of believe in transparency, too, and hey, I'm not paranoid about YouTube or Facebook. Hey, anything that some people are more than welcome to ask me, whatever. I mean, but if you go and say on Facebook or on a phone, something that you're going to kill so-and-so, what the hell do you think is going to happen? But anyway, I'm just going to end this video right here. Any of you people that have already been following me, if you want to go and take clips and make this into several videos because it's several subjects rolled in one that relate, go ahead and do it. I don't care. If you want to take it and cut this up in separate videos, freaking do it, and then if you want to send it back to me, put it on your channel so that I can snag it and put it on my channel. More power to you. You know what? Yeah, go ahead and do that. But, all right, that's it.